Oh, I'm on drop.
Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.
What's up, and welcome to this week's episode of The Drop, your weekly source for all things NFT and crypto art, as well as upcoming drops by notable artists in the Mograph space. I remembered it all. I didn't have to look. It was slowly. I'm Matt Milstead. As always, joining me is Dave Koss. Joining us this week is Casey Hupke.
Hello.
Yes.
Well, show us what you got real quick, Matt, and then we'll talk to Casey.
A bunch of stuff. First up, let's go Nifty Gateway. They didn't update their stuff because they suck. And I'm probably I at this point I'm like, if Nifty Gateway wants to reach out to me and be like, hey, okay, let's give you an advance look at all this other stuff. Like, it's annoying to me that whatever. This is my weekly rant about Nifty Gateway. Yeah. I may start just dropping Nifty Gateway entirely. So
they're not going to preview
well, you can't.
anything.
You'll get stuck in the Nifty Gateway. You can't take it out of Nifty Gateway.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Billy, he says, better mention Ryan Talbot's Nifty drop tomorrow. It's not listed on their
but
site.
It's not listed.
It's literally tomorrow.
Right.
Like,
what is the problem with them?
The thing is, like, it's like, okay, if you know, collectors and stuff like us, we want to buy this artwork. It's like we either have to follow the artist extensively, you know. We can't just go to Nifty or get the email. I don't know. It's frustrating. I want to know a week ahead of time.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna bring up their site right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, who's on? So Ryan's thing is tomorrow,
and
right?
that's completely different than what I saw earlier when I checked. You know?
This? Okay.
Go to curated drops real quick.
Go to curated
up
drops.
At the top. Yeah.
Okay.
They probably just updated it. And now, see, look, February 28th, John Norlander and Sean Williams.
Yeah, like,
you know,
why is this the start of the
why?
week?
Yeah,
like, Monday
why do
we
we
should
need
know
to see
next
the
week.
other 5 days? It should be you see the next 5 days ahead of time. You know.
Now I did notice one button that says view all upcoming. No, see, that goes to the same thing. View all upcoming. So it's tomorrow,
right?
But it's not listed.
Whoever's doing the marketing for Nifty Gateway sucks.
And they were doing it the correct way when they started. Like, you could see everything coming. You could plan ahead.
Right.
We say it every week, but like, our friends have drops on Nifty and we don't know about them.
Yeah.
Like,
so
besides
tomorrow, Ryan Talbot is doing a drop on Nifty Gateway. I don't have any of the previews.
I'll look up his thing.
See, and I have to look up people's Twitters and stuff like that. So
is it one of those really cool crab robot things?
I think it is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those are adorable.
Yeah,
the one, Lily.
This is it right here. This is a great one too with the ice.
Yeah.
The animation is so great.
Very, very Bambi-esque. You know.
Oh right.
Gives me feelings of Bambi. You know?
Yeah, it's such a good, so smooth.
Yeah.
That is very Bambi. Yeah, see, that's great. Why is this not listed? Okay.
Right?
I guess, yeah, whatever. Let's go to the other stuff so we can get to Casey here.
Yeah, John Norlander is doing a drop today. So today is the only one that we've got. And I love John Norlander stuff. I think John Norlander is amazing. I would love to have him on the show sometime. I followed him. I actually learned about him from TikTok, you know, because he's got a bunch of TikToks and stuff, and he does the really weird stuff where, you know, stuff bulges out of like a soft body head or something. Super cool stuff. Anyway, yeah. So that is today. Also, Sean Williams is doing a drop. He didn't post anything on Twitter, but I wanted to show off his work because it's pretty cool. It's very pop culture inspired and stuff like that. I really like it.
I wonder if it's done in Procreate.
I don't know. It might be.
Looks kind of like it. I don't know.
Yeah. That's it as far as Nifty Gateway, you know. Hey, marketing, get a hold of me because I'm just going to start stopping Nifty Gateway drops.
Start stopping.
Yeah. Next up is Maker's Place. See, Maker's Place is very reliable. Yeah. It's like 3 days. Okay, give me at least 3 days. And like I almost, you know, you're able to show them off every week. So this first one is Francis Berthode times Bulgari and
times
Bonds Zone Sani. It's the hype NFT. The ones on Maker's Place. are very illustrative. You know, this one, I believe this one is like a inspired by like a lot of fashion designers and stuff like that, and actually come with physical ones as well,
Ooh.
which is interesting. So yeah, that's today. And then on the first, Frederico Somali
Ooh, this
is
is
doing
fun.
a drop called Reels. Yeah, it looks like what is it? Atom arrays, you know? Looks like atom arrays, but it almost looks like, if you look at the movement, you know, it looks like they took the
It's been puppeted.
puppet, like
Yeah.
the puppet tool, how it
kinda
makes
fun.
that mesh automatically or whatever. It's almost like they turned that mesh into something.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. And then the second, Gregory Sif, sorry, is doing one called Love Language. And yeah, communication
That's
through color,
interesting.
paint, shape, and symbol here in Love Language. Yeah. Anyway, cool stuff. Very illustrative this week, except for John Norlander's. Wanted to give a shout out to Travis Ragsdale.
Yeah.
I wish I had followed this a little bit more closely. But
We mentioned it for a second, but
we did. So if you go to alphabotsociety.com, okay, that's the crypto.com.
this is crypto.com.
Yeah, crypto.com. So Travis just dropped his alphabots, which I think are mega super cool. I really like them.
Ooh, those are fun.
So he's
yeah,
loaded
right?
now.
Right. So he's loaded. He's another one of our friends who have made millions.
All right, sweet. Hey, Travis, you want to sponsor some meetups or
right? So, but yeah, it's another 10,000 collection and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, you can get them. I think the floor price right now is like $300, which is pretty cool. I really like them. I like them a lot. I think they're very cool, and they're different enough. You know, it's like he must have learned from Mechaverse, you know, to at least put a
Right.
background in, not the
they
same
are
background.
very different. I do
Right?
think that. I mean, you could tell a lot of time went
Right.
into this. Yeah.
Right. You know,
Yeah.
you see similar traits and stuff like that, but it's cool. I like them. I like them a lot.
And see, what's great
So-
about this is you can bet on it. It's not a rug pull, you know,
Right.
Because we know him.
Right. And if it
And we
is
know
a
where he
rug pull,
lives.
we'll go beat him up.
Yeah, exactly.
Be like, "Where's my money, bro? Where's my money?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to Travis Ragsdale. Congrats on the AlphaBots drop.
And
And
Windbush.
also, yeah, congrats to Windbush.
Yes.
He had a drop with Hackato last week. And this is a different one that Dave is showing, but he
yeah.
sold the piece. It was like for like $4,600, so that's pretty awesome. Way to go.
But he's got
He's-
this. He's involved in this one here now too. First Dibs NFT, right?
Man, it's so many different places.
Yeah, man, he's just got so much NFT
So
stuff going on
much.
right now. A lot of collaborations.
Yeah,
that
totally.
he's doing right now. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So we'll put a link to that in the show notes as well, so you can check that out.
Totally. So let's talk to you, Casey, because
Yes.
you are big into the NFT space, but not. If that makes sense.
How about we just ask
Okay.
you to explain what you've been
Yeah.
up to?
No,
I think
no,
that'd be a
no.
lot easier.
I want 2 more guesses about my
All
knowledge and experience and positioning in the NFT marketplace.
So what you
Dave,
do-
go ahead. You go ahead, one.
Is you're the marketing guy for Nifty now?
Right.
Not affiliated anyway.
We just found out. We've been bad mouthing you the whole time.
Right.
Nope. No. So, we all remember the NFT winter of 2019 or whatever. Like we just went. Like
Last
I've been
year.
following crypto since like 2017. Like, if anyone remembers, like back our early Slack days in 2017, I was like, hey, I think this ETH thing is going to be pretty big. You guys should take a look at it. And a bunch of people refer to me as their crypto Santa, because I convinced them to buy in around like $70 to $200.
In the
And,
MoCoin channel on the Slack back in the day.
Yeah, MoCoin became a thing because of just like it was just so much stuff was going on, and I was just I was more interested in like the underlying technology and like trying to learn more about that and the the whole Web3 thing approaching and what that meant and like how is that going to be like the new internet, because I miss the old era of the web where like it was, I'd go on to like my GeoCities builder and just post like a thing, like a thing with GIFs and have some like just nothingness on a page that no
Under
one could really
construction
interact with. Yeah,
with
all
the
under
flashing
construction. No one
lights.
could do anything.
Yeah.
Just Casey's cool site.geocities.com. And
Slash
that was like
1234 slash, Silicon Valley dot slash GeoCities.
Yeah, and then the web became this place that it is now, where everyone comments on everything and everyone interacts with everything in an interesting way. So
and everybody hates each other. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
So, and it's all it's supported by the first thing you get when you get to a web page is like, would you like to buy some cookies? I have 100 cookies for you. You can choose how many cookies you would like. Also, please don't reject them. You're legal. You can reject them if you want, but it affects us. And then the
and don't forget the like passive aggressive like no button. It doesn't just say yes or no. It says no, I would not like to receive awesome special offers. Thank you very much.
Or you halfway scroll in and it's like a little quick sec, sir. You might turn off that ad blocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't. So Web3 sites start popping up and they're run by your chain and they're like this it's the future of the interesting internet starts popping up in 2019, 2018, and that starting to pique my interest. And then our friends start making millions of dollars with JPEGs, and the whole time I'm still just like working, freelance and just doing my thing. I'm not really concerned with what's going on, and I'm not really sure what to do with it. But I'm watching the technology. I'm watching what the artists that I know are doing, and just sort of trying to figure out how I want to get into the space. Like I talk about it to a lot of people, and I follow it, and I collect NFTs and all that. But I didn't really want to begin what seemed like an arduous career reset and start over as like just an artist and like make NFTs and like focus on doing some ridiculously 2-month long still life project that may or may not sell for how much I need to survive for 2 months.
Right.
And then I also didn't want to double dip and like do my general like creative director freelance gig where I was managing like 6 or 7 people and generally just kind of creatively drained at the end of the day to then like hop back on the box and like start making stuff. And there was no real like place for me in it. So I was like, oh, I'm a fan who speculates and invests and flips PFPs every once in a while when the mint shoots way up and I can just get like a nice 6 ETH profit or something. And then comes in my best friend Brian. He hit me up and said, hey, I'm gonna take a job at this NFT company called Recur. And I was like, oh, cool. Let me know how the interview process goes, and let's talk. So he interviews with them, and they start growing. And this is maybe June of last year, so not super long ago. Like the company just turned 1 on 2/22/22.
Okay.
And so anyway, I meet. I talk to him. He says he really likes it. He really enjoyed the interview process. I throw in an application. He hits up the people, gets a referral in. They'd already seen my application, so a couple days later, they reach out, and I had been approached by a couple other NFT companies like up to this point, and I was starting to kind of like nervous about the companies that were reaching out, because they were just like, we just got $1 million to work with such and such artist on like a one-off limited drop, and like we want you to be our executive creative director, and like after we get this, like we'll do profit sharing. And I was like, you got a $1 million seed round? That's so small for a tech company. Like what are you minting on? What are your things? Like, oh, we're not sure. We're figuring that out right now. We're just looking for artists who can make cool work, and then we'll like do the blockchain stuff second. And I was like, that's not how this works. And this company they were hiring creatives after they'd already like had their executive team in place, started talking with folks, getting engineering in place, like talking about the platform, getting like the mission statement and the core values and stuff built up, like you would normally build a company.
Yes.
Like, so it felt very familiar to like other technology startups that I'd worked for. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then, just talking with the owners and the co-founders and all the other executive members of the team, everyone had such a good ability to like communicate what they liked about the space and where they wanted to go and what their like ideal thing would be. There's a really good culture in the company that I saw even as like employee 42. Now we're like over 100 or something. And it was just very, very refreshing to like have a very traditional technology company infrastructure being built to support this very like nascent space. So I was like, all right, let's do this. This is exactly how I want to get in NFTs. Like I want to get my fingerprints all over working with these giant IPs. Because if you have any familiarity with the company, they're sort of been sleepy. But on March 14th, our collegiate sports section drops called NFTU. If you follow Recur Forever on Twitter, you can see a whole bunch of the awesome marketing promos that the art team has been working on, and like some of like the mock packs and like NFTs themselves. But it's Recur Forever on Twitter. March 14th is when that drops, and this is like just like a grain of the creative stuff that's been going on that's finally starting to be shown. And then last year we did this Recur Pass that people got really excited about. And on the site, there's some teasers of some of the IPs that were, under our eye, they'll coming when they come type things. But they to work like to take an approach to what we know that works in the NFT space and collectability, digital collectibles, and to be able to look at these types of IPs. It's something that's super exciting. I'm more excited about this than like trying to create like my own like, oh, I made this thing, it's digicrystals and there's a billion of them,
right,
and like each one has a different thing, and like trying to get people like to get excited about it. But like if you look at like the Recur Pass site and see like Rugrats and Star Trek and like all the sports teams, that all the colleges, that's like, oh no, like building collectible experiences supporting these things that we already love, like that's a dream.
Yeah, you brought up a good point, because I have seen so many different sites that have just said, oh, hey, we got some money and we're going to work with all these artists now. And like they post all the artists that they're going to work with, and they put up like a homepage, like a placeholder homepage, like the GeoCities homepage with the under construction. But then that's like kind of like all you get. Like, where's the infrastructure? Where's like all the background? Like it's just a bunch of hype. Like, I know people get excited about it. I know people are like in it because they like the art and they want to work with the artists. But like, if you don't really have a platform, what's the point? Right? Like, like it seems like it seems like y'all had all of that infrastructure there, and it just seems so much more well structured than just rando, like you said. Oh, well, we're gonna do this 10,000 piece collection, and just like it's less. All that stuff just seems like talk to me, and sometimes it's just like noise.
Well, when you think about like some of the IP and stuff that we're like associating with, you have to have a very big support system to manage that kind of responsibility, for one. Right. Like even like we've interviewed and hired a lot of motion designers over the past like 6-7 months that I've been there. And one of the things that I've always said,
you've been stealing our whole Slack channel.
Not stealing, they're still there. But it's like this company, like if you were to like think about like the last motion design studio that you worked for, like in COVID, it was probably just like a bunch of people in Zoom meetings quietly working together and working on their section of the After Effects comp.
Right.
And in this space, it's more like, okay, let's put our team together and think about like the A to B to C to D story plan for these things and how this is going to do that, how this is going to do this, and like it's a lot of approaching things from different angles. And the reason why I think motion designers are doing so well in this space from the art side is because they already are like, oh yeah, man, let me grab some audio really quick and just put some sound effects in there. And like, tradition, like a lot of skill sets or a lot of artists that are more traditional pipeline production oriented are like, I'm really good at this. I'm really good at this. I have interest in other things, but motion designers, they usually have this like nice broad breadth of like, oh yeah, I've done a lot of video editing and like I love playing with cameras, or oh, I like building Raspberry Pis and doing some Python scripting.
Yeah.
But I also do, Redshift and Octane and Arnold and Cinema 4D, and I've of course recently started using Houdini, which is what everyone says.
And even Ableton, or something, in the audio field. Yeah. Yeah. And like the comment Matt and I always make that so many motion designers are
failed musicians.
Musicians, or mostly failed musicians.
Failed musicians.
I'm definitely a failed musician. So.
Yeah, there was one company that offered me like a chief creative officer role, and they were like, yeah, we got this thing. We're going to be doing NFTs that you can only get from going to concerts, and they do not exist anymore.
Okay.
I can't even remember what their name was.
Like all the ideas are there, but then it's the execution.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to execute, right?
Got to. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were just, and I know this is a large amount of money to a lot of people, but they were saying like, oh yeah, an investor just gave us $900,000 to start doing the research, and I was like, you hire like 7 people and that is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's immediately gone. Like that's the overhead for a staff of 4 for 1 year.
Right.
Right. I feel like everybody gets this money in those situations and then like just wants to go all out and not think about like maybe using it a little more wisely, right? Like, do you really have to hire that many people right away? Maybe you can hire one person and a couple contractors, and maybe you can, I don't know. Question, what is your infrastructure like? Are y'all building things from scratch? Are you using certain platforms? And as much as you can say, is there a lot of proprietary stuff? Because in my experience, I feel like if you can find a platform or something that works for you that's already built, there's no point in reinventing the wheel, right? So like, how custom do y'all have to get to do some of these things?
I can't be too revealing of anything, but like,
like platform wise, like.
Every cinema artist uses GSG Plus. There's the creative things that like you have to do to iterate fast.
Right.
Like you've got to have access to your Turbo Squids. You got to have access to your GSG Pluses or your Redshift material libraries and all that stuff. Like, I mean, you have to have that stuff. Like, I like to go back and rebuild things where possible, but sometimes you just don't need to. Like, if you have something that works, I like, as someone who's a Houdini artist and who loves also hiring Houdini users, we're always building assets. So, there's always like, I have my own personal Houdini digital assets that are basically like, my first steps to going into anything.
I guess my question is, not necessarily from the artist's standpoint, right? But like, in more of a general NFT sense, because I know a lot of it is proprietary. Like, are y'all building custom things when it comes to actual crypto, or are you taking advantage of other platforms that are like made already to save?
Oh yeah, I see. So that I am not informed enough to discuss. That's like, I am so like, there's so many people that there's no way for me to not accidentally say the wrong thing there. I'm so heads down, straight focused on art, and all the stuff that we're doing. Like, there's some pretty awesome information available up on the site that goes into some of the detail on it, and there's a lot more coming. But the biggest question I always get is like, how are you guys blockchain agnostic? And I'm like, I can kind of answer that, but I'm going to trip over it.
Oh, that's an interesting question. So you're blockchain agnostic in what way? In the type, like in the type of currency these are using, or the way they're minted? Like, what does that mean?
It's just one of the. It's like, yeah. Again, I'm gonna have to steer away from this question just so I don't. I need to check the latest white paper on it. But there's some good stuff on. Let me find a link for you. There's a good one.
Like, for example, like, are these on OpenSea? Can you see them on OpenSea? I guess would be my first question. Is this something where you can move these around? Do you have something proprietary? Like,
you currently, like going on the Recur site, it just looks like you guys have your own marketplace, correct?
Yeah. There's a marketplace that we have,
but it is on the blockchain, right?
Yep.
A blockchain. So what blockchain is that on? I guess that's my question.
I believe all the passes are on Polygon, because when we did the Recur pass, there was the whole, like, they bought like a bunch of passes with the launch of it and everything.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha. So as far as the company is concerned, then you are doing deals with companies that own the IP to then create that stuff, right? So like you've got up here, Hello Kitty, Star Trek, The Godfather. So these companies come to you and say, hey, we have all this IP and we would like to create this stuff.
Yes, I'm not sure of in which case who went where to whom, but these are the announced ones that we're parting with to create one of a kind fan experiences for.
So when they
excited about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one.
I'm excited about all of these.
Yeah, that's nice.
Like everything that we've shown, I'm super hyped for.
Here, I'll bring it up here so you can see. Like okay, so Ninja Turtles, for example, whoever went to who to do the deal, right? Y'all are creating the variations on this. So when you get that IP, do you sit down with them and kind of decide, hey, what is the process going to be? Are they relying on you to be the art director in that case, or are they giving you basically the instructions?
Without getting too behind the scenes there, it's very similar to like any agreement that you would make to work on any sort of commercialized project or product. It's not like it's an NFT, but in the sense it's still a licensed good and product that has brand guidelines and narrative considerations and everything else to be put into it. But in this case, it's an NFT collectible that you can collect and
But like, but as far as like the art direction, though, are you?
You're making Casey very uncomfortable right now.
I know.
No, I just
are you art directing?
There's so much to be like. There's so much that can't be said that I can't say, and also just in general talking on a podcast about anything.
So what you're saying, your lawyer isn't next to you right now, so you can't.
No, my lawyer's not here.
Yeah, I gotta go. After this is over, and
answer that one?
Casey, we're gonna have to let you go.
But you can tell us if you are you art directing these, or are they
telling
you what they want? So you are coming up with concepts for these things, right? And coming up with ideas. You're not just they're not just saying, "Oh, we need Raphael on a green background."
No. I'm doing some of the most rewarding creative work that I've done in my career in the last long time on some of these projects. All of the projects that I'm working on. There's some amazing work being done, and some pretty impressive challenges being met with like a lot of big brain creativity from all the artists involved. So all the creative that we're doing is so fun. That's another one of the just insanely rewarding pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah, and I can assume that working with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Star Trek, that would be that would be huge. I would love that.
Do you have anything that's a large collection, like the way that you see, at least maybe not 10,000 pieces, but do you have any that are in a large collection that require you have to be super strategic about how you go about doing the design or programming or anything in order to do a large pack, or are these things very custom?
you will have to keep your eyes on the space. That I can't spoil anything with that. Yeah. But be excited.
Are you doing programming stuff yourself? Like are you doing are you finding ways to like do your workflow in order to create things faster like that? It's like you can put the artistic and creative part in, but like as far as creating variations and things, like are you having to kind of learn new technologies, invent new things, or are you able to just get on and be artistic personally?
Yeah, so it's a mixture of like, a lot of the challenges that would present themselves in creating
Casey's brains are
gonna no, I'm trying to think of like a very like clean way to say it. It's like,
yeah,
it's not like creating storyboards for like a 30-second or 60-second spot. Because when you tell a story over a 30-second, 60-second spot, you know that you have like a 3-act structure or a 4-act structure depending. And you kind of want to like get to the point and then have enough for the reveal to let the product idea land. When you're creating an actual product, like an action figure or a piece of technology or a mouse, like, and especially that if that thing is going to have like a narrative background to it, there's all sorts of different things that go into making that object like important and rich in story. So when you think about making multiple things, like any product, like a living thing that's going to go on, exchange hands, get people's perspectives put on it and opinions said about it, and it's going to live there as a product forever. Like it coming, no matter how many of those you're making, approaching that design is a challenge. So it's even making one like G.I. Joe is a difficult task. So it's much different than my previous life in commercial.
Do you? Sure. Yeah, and you probably learn a lot of technical things. I know, like just with NFTs, I've learned a lot about new technical things that I don't even understand. Trying to understand these concepts, like has doing this helped you wrap your head around things that were previously just like crazy blockchain things that you had never even known about before? Like, are you very immersed in that on a day-to-day? Do you get to learn that new stuff or hear about it? Or you just, I say just create, but like, are you able to focus on art, like as a whole, in general? Like, what's the ratio there?
So where there's so much stuff going on, I mean, like I'm really, really kind of heads down specifically in creative, but there's so many people here in this space. Like I mean, most of my friends are super into like the crypto and blockchain world as well. I am too. Like it's like I mean, I have to like also pay attention to that. Like,
right.
Pretty much my video game blogs switched to NFT and crypto blogs, and my secondary reading is all like, oh, what's this company's white paper? Like, what's their future game plan? The biggest thing I've been interested in lately is like Web3 overlays for Minecraft clients. Like, did you see Hero Galaxies? It's you can basically play Minecraft with this it's basically an integration. Yeah, it's a mod for Minecraft that lets you use the NFTs.
Oh, so you can use like your metaverse characters on top of the Minecraft people?
Yeah, there was what was the Unknown Islands, or there was something else that was supported with it, but it's just it's interesting.
Oh, hold on, man. Sorry, I just played really loud noises on the stream. Y'all didn't hear it.
No.
Yeah, I have. Oh, that's weird. I had Twitter muted, and all of a sudden it wasn't muted. Sorry. Here, I'm bringing up this on the screen so you can see it. This is the Heroes thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you with that loud audio. Yeah, you can keep going. It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's just super interesting. Like I missed the mint. Like I went to go mint some, and they had whitelisted a couple thousand, and they had like 3,000 or 4,000 left. and I hit mint, and then it was like gas is going to be $80, and I was like, oh wow, gas is cheap right now. And then it was like speed up, and I was like, okay, I'll speed up. Then gas was $2,700.
Holy cow!
And then I reloaded, and the mint was sold out. It was like for 30 seconds, 3,000 NFTs minted.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm not going to pay that gas.
See, that's why I feel like it's good to know this stuff ahead of time, because if you got to get your wallet ready, you know. What do you think about, since we can't talk too much about the actual inner workings of your job in that sense? Like, tell us what you think about the metaverse in general, like the future.
Yeah, where do you think this is all going?
Yeah.
Oh, this is giving me 2014 NAB flashbacks all over again. Where at the end of the NAB session, they were like, "Hey, will you guys, where do you guys think the industry is going to be in 5 years?" And then both me and Nick were like, "I'm not answering that because you're going to play this in 5 years." And I'm like, "You were so wrong."
It's going to be the Bill Gates clip where he says, like,
no one needs more than 100. Yeah,
100 KB of RAM or something like that. I don't know. Everybody likes to bring that up.
So, I think that the word metaverse and where the metaverse is going and what it is are things that are sort of being shaped by a lot of different people. Like it, I kind of always felt like we were already getting there. We were already there and already like stepping our foot in it with, like, you know, Instagram AR filters and like TikTok filters and that kind of stuff. I felt like that was already getting there. I don't think it.
Good.
Yeah, I don't think it requires you to be represented by a verified NFT in multiple social networks and also have an AR headset. And I think Fortnite is a metaverse, and I think that it's clear that it's a it's you go in as yourself and you do multiple different events, and, you know, people spend time customizing and, you know, making themselves look the way they want to look there. Like, in some senses, World of Warcraft has been kind of a metaverse for a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
I know I've lived lives in that game. I've raided in multiple guilds, traveled various servers, escaped unwanted friends.
Met Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah. But I like this. I like the idea that there's this. I mean, who couldn't? I mean, I know who couldn't, but I'm ready for a version of like a Star Trek Ready Player One, where we solve our way into like digital overlays in real life and like gamified living VR and IRL experiences. And, you know, you can take all your digital assets with you through whatever app you want to go to and do that stuff. But one of the things, like, people always like associate that with like a dystopian or a dark or like an impoverished future where everyone's spent all their earnings and money to like go free to play games on a VR headset and like live in a stack of RVs in the middle of a junkyard.
Right.
But I don't think it has to be that. Like, Star Trek is a great example of like, man, everything's so great. Science is doing so good. What if we just go explore the universe and offer help and ask questions? And I'm like, all right, cool. What should we take? I don't know, but for sure the holodeck. And then also that bar that you can get drunk in, and then you walk out of it and you're no longer drunk.
10 forward.
Oh, yeah. 10 forward. Is that how it works? Is that how Synthahol works? You only feel it until you leave the 10 forward? I like that concept, though.
I do, too.
That's what I researched, was that Synthahol was just something that was just like, oh, you're drunk, and then you clip, and then you're like, oh, no longer drunk. I can now fly the ship again.
Yeah, it's like you walk out the door and it scans you and it takes it out of your bloodstream.
Nanobots.
It'd be great if you could like stop it, you know, so that you could drive home and then start it back up. Yeah, once you get home.
It's just like it's like just a little like thing in your brain that like just like stresses your equilibrium out and makes you feel intoxicated.
That's funny.
All right, Matt, you wanna wrap up the drop, because we have a short. This is a short show.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us late.
Yeah, if you or anyone you know is doing a drop, feel free to email us, info@mograph.com. We'll show it on the show. Let's get back to the regular show.
Okay.
I was trying to find a good
Drop. Is this the fucking mic drop? This is exactly what I should be doing.